Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Today's Monday, July 10th. It is 6:17 right now. Market's going to open in about 13 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. As you guys can see, I marked up a couple lines here, splitting up the price levels from the 10th, and the market volatility is very low. So hopefully market volatility picks up, which it should on market open. Because we're going to need at least some sort of a volatile market for us to be able to, take these scalps, of course. So, we'll play by ear. If the market doesn't pick up immediately, we're gonna have to wait for the market to actually pick up and stabilize before we can start looking for any possible entries here. So, a couple things here to update. And it looks like we are good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. So I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. All right. So as people make their way in, I'm going to go ahead and mark up liquidity over here on the liquidity chart. It's probably what takes us the longest. All right, I'll try to mark up some of these so I know exactly what levels what. I'm just going to mark up the ones that are close by to current price. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. Looks like about half you guys are here. Today is Monday, July 10th. Happy Monday, everyone. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. It's 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 9 minutes. So I'm just marking liquidity over here for you guys. I'm just going to label the ones that are nearby so we have an idea like what level of liquidity it is. But I'm not going to mark up every level. Not expecting too much volatility today. There's not really too much going on. I'll check the news to see if there's anything to look out for. I think the Fed is speaking at like 7 o'clock, about 30 minutes, but it's not a high impact news event. So I don't think it's super necessary. Got liquidity marked up right there. I'm just gonna color these red. There's way too many levels here for me to mark them individually. I mean, that level is probably gonna get hit the market right away. All right, so it looks like we are good to go. Markets had open about 7 minutes. So I'll mark up the overall direction too, so we can see where price is likely going. I don't think there's any direction today. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Looks like majority of you guys are here. Today's Monday, July 10th. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. 6:23 right now. Market's gonna open in about 7 minutes. So if you look over here on our main chart, you can see that I marked up the 10th, basically the entry points for these momentum pullback scalp strategy. And as you guys can see, the market volatility is not really moving. It's very slow right now. So this needs to pick up before we can look for any entries. We can't have them super spread out like this. We need price to actually kind of tighten up a bit because this is not the type of market that you want to be trading in. If you're scalping, because you want to get in and out of that position rather quickly within a minute or two. So we'll probably wait for the market to stabilize a little bit and pick up before we start entering these types of scalps here. I've marked up liquidity over here on the liquidity chart. As you guys can see, let me just take this off. All right, so as you guys can see, price is kind of close to this level of liquidity right here. However, this is the lowest level 10-minute liquidity, so it's not going to be very strong. I mean, price technically touched it already, but we'll still use it and see if this will be useful to us. But if not, I'm not expecting this to be a strong level of liquidity. You probably want to wait for this lower level or this higher level over here, which is going to be the 1 hour. So let me go over here and mark up the overall bias, and then we will go from here. So today's retail sentiment, fundamental bias, short-term technicals, long-term technicals. So I already looked at the bias for today. There's not really much of a bias. Looking over here at retail sentiment, it's currently 53% short. This indicates that 53% of retail traders are currently selling right now. Not a really big number. You typically want it to be, about 65% or higher. Right now, it's not that high. So it's pretty much going to be straight neutral right now. So neutral. I'm not going to put the percentage, doesn't matter until that changes. Looking over here at the fundamentals, pre-market right now is currently at 7. So it's neutral as well. No point in putting anything there. There's nothing there to look at. Short-term technicals over here are currently, let's see. I mean, they're pretty mixed. They're not really, I don't know those numbers there. All right, so I don't know why these numbers are on the chart right here. Pivot high, low. It's not even on my chart. Oh, there we go. Okay, so looking over here at the lower time frames, you can see that price is not really, there's no direction. Price is right down the middle for the 5-minute and 10-minute. So again, right here, lower time frames, pretty much neutral. It's trying to be bearish right now, but it's not very strong. 1 minute's bearish. 5-minute here is right in between. Trend here was green, so it's pretty much neutral. Same with the 10-minute over here. It's right in between as well. So 1 minute, 5-minute, 10-minute. Short-term technical is pretty much neutral. Looking over here at the higher time frames, 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour, they're actually bearish. So with that said, that's the only somewhat bias that we have. It's kind of bearish, but not really. And I'll put that in over here. So right here, the higher time frames are bearish because price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. But the shorter term time frames over here are not very directional at all. So we're going to put neutral here for short-term technicals. and we'll put bearish here for long-term technicals. With that said, pretty much neutral, bearish. So not really useful to us here. That lower level of liquidity here just got hit right there pre-market, so that's not going to be useful to us. I wasn't expecting it to be useful, as I mentioned earlier, so it pretty much did what we thought it would do. It hit it too early. Market's still going to open in about 3 minutes. We still have some time. Next level is going to be down here. Again, if you guys want to take these lower levels, we'll see what happens when the market actually opens. And then from there, we'll determine whether, looking over here at the range, I think 300 pips is way too far. It's way too far, right? Like in order for it to hit and actually go down to full TP for 300 pips, I think it's way too far for it to reach. So I'd probably go for 100 pips versus the full 300. This is just way too far out. It might hit, might reverse, swing back up. So if you are going to take these liquidity pushes, I would go for 100 pips. That's my personal opinion. It's up to you guys what you guys want to do. But for me personally, I would just play it safe and go for the 100 pips if you do decide to take the lower level when market opens. 100 hit over here already. You guys took that pre-market liquidity, but I didn't take it, so not going to count. Other than that, I think that's about it for right now. So let's see who's here in the room so far. So let's see. Morning, CJ. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Maria. Morning, Chrissy. Welcome back. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Patricia. Morning, Shannon. Morning, Dan. Morning, Van Harwick. Morning, Surin. Morning, Rashida. Morning, Johnny. Morning, guys. All right, so it looks like pretty much everybody's here so far. Pretty much just a full analysis. So you guys already saw everything. We have the liquidity marked up over here. We have our main chart over here. You can see volatility starting to pick up. If it picks up and it stays this way, which I hope it does, then great. We're gonna have the opportunity to take these scalps. But I'm not gonna take it immediately on open. I'm probably gonna take it closer to 7 once the market starts to stabilize. I'm expecting volatility to pick up, but again, you don't want to be jumping in too early, right? So, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll put a couple more levels up here. I'll just make adjustments along the way. All right, volatility is starting to pick up. It's a good thing. See if that next level got hit. So the next level got hit already pre-market right there. So this might not even be useful to you guys again, as I mentioned. Fake out right there. Price came down, touched it, bounced right up. This was kind of what I was expecting. That's why I was saying to not take these too seriously, these lower levels. So the 2 levels already got hit. Those are not going to be useful to you. You have to wait for either this higher level or this lower level, which is perfectly fine because this lower level down here is a 4-hour liquidity, and this higher level over here is a 1-hour liquidity. So it's actually beneficial to wait for those levels versus these middle levels right here as price continues to move along. Market is now open, guys. So we'll see where this pushes up to. Again, as I mentioned, we're not going to be taking trades just yet. We're going to wait for the market to stabilize a little bit, and then we'll start looking for some possible entries as price continues to move along. So this is going to be NYSE open price. And you can see how price over here is kind of faking out a bit. Here's the clean chart. I'm gonna go ahead and mark up times over here, 6:30, 8 o'clock. It goes open price right there. I'll come back and mark zones up when the market starts to stabilize a bit. But as you guys can see, price is moving kind of crazy right here. This is the 1-hour time liquidity. I don't know if it's been established. Let me check real quick. So I don't think this 1-hour liquidity right here is going to be established, guys. Just a heads up. Okay. I don't know if this here is going to be established because if price comes up and touches it, it's probably going to invalidate that high. There you go. So there's no liquidity right there. You can see over here, I marked it up. I said 1-hour liquidity, but it needs to confirm established. It was never established because price came and touched it. So this right here is not going to be used as liquidity. There needs to be at least about like 4 or 5 candles that pass it before it's established. It's just pushing into a new higher high. Or a new high from here, lower high in this case, because the higher high is up here. So this 1-hour liquidity is not an established liquidity, and it can't be used for a liquidity push. It needs to be established. This is normal for Monday, guys, so don't worry. If you guys are not familiar with like Monday markets, Mondays are usually a bit risky. Let's go back to the 1 minute. So unfortunately, we can't use this one right here. I mean, it would have been a nice entry, but we can't use it. If you guys took it, I mean, that's fine. but I just want to confirm with you guys so that you guys aren't just taking random trades here and expecting them to be liquidity, because it wasn't able to be confirmed since price actually touched it before I was able to. So right here, no liquidity. I mean, if you guys took it, great, but just keep that in mind. You know, this would be considered a lucky move because this here would not be an actual entry for liquidity. Because again, if you go back to the 1 hour time frame, you can see here that this 1 hour, the lower high is no longer there. This lower high got pushed up higher, and it hasn't been established yet. So just a heads up. So there's no liquidity push this morning. Also, liquidity here got hit pre-market, and this one over here wasn't even established yet. So it can be considered liquidity just yet. Unless it was on the lower time frames, which I highly doubt it was. Actually, so this was actually a 30-minute liquidity, but it's okay. I'm not going to count it. So the 1 hour there wasn't established, but now I go back to the 30-minute. You can see that there was a higher high right here. This was actually a 30-minute liquidity. It'd still be a red liquidity, so I probably wouldn't have taken it right away. Anything below 1 hour is low levels liquidity for me. So I probably wouldn't have taken it even if it was established as a red liquidity for 30-minute. So, all right, we got that cleaned up right there. Let me see if there's any other liquidity zones that we could look out for. I don't think there's anything that's nearby, personally. Yeah, the next level of liquidity is up here. This is the 4 hour, I believe, or the 1 hour, actually. This is the next 1 hour. It's pretty far from where price is currently at. So, not really expecting that to get hit today. It's about 2,300 pips away. So, it's a pretty far push to the upside if it does reach that high. Down below, this is the same distance. It's about 2,300 pips as well. So we got a lot of distance between the next level of liquidity. So liquidity might not be available for today, which is fine. Again, you know, today is Monday. So Monday is like one of the riskier days to trade because people are re-entering the market. That's why you're seeing this big push to the upside, because people are filling their orders from the weekend. So people pretty much sold off on Friday, and then now they're buying back in on Monday. So you're getting this big push right here to the upside. So it's fine. If there's no entry for liquidity today, we're still going to be looking for our scalps. So that's going to be our main focus here as price continues to come back down. The volatility here is picking up quite a bit. So this is actually a good thing for us because now we can start looking for some possible scalps once the market actually stabilizes. Right now, it's not stabilized. You can see prices kind of moving around very crazy. You want price to kind of slow down a bit so that we can confirm direction and we can start looking for actual entries here. So, all right, guys, 6:35. It's barely 5 minutes into market. You guys can see the crazy movement right here on the open. This is normal. The first 5 to 10 minutes is pretty crazy, and then it starts to stabilize. So as we get closer to 7, we can start looking for some scalps here. Right now, I'm sitting tight waiting for the market to actually stabilize and start to move smoothly. Right now, it's moving kind of crazy. We actually like this. You want price to move crazy on open so that we can see whether price is going to, there's two scenarios that can play out here. You can see how price is coming back down. Price will either come back down and retest the opening price. This is basically where price opened from this morning. So that's one scenario. Price will either come down here, or what will happen here is price will consolidate down this middle a little bit. I'll just consolidate around here and then continue back up higher. So two different scenarios here that can play out. We did get a push out, so we'll see if price continues to push up higher or if it comes back down. But at the moment, it looks like price is likely to just go sideways for a bit until it determines, you know, its direction. So I'll mark up the zones here so that you guys can see where price is bouncing from. And we will go from there. All right, so just a matter of time until we get that. Yeah, Maddie said there was a momentum pullback that hit. So there's actually one over here that did hit that price pulled back from, but again, I wouldn't have taken it because it's a little too crazy of movement here. Yeah, price, this is the one that Maddie saw. Maddie saw this pullback. So let me just show you guys the entry that Maddie identified. So Maddie actually identified this right here. There was a bullish push right here, green trend meter, price above the pivots angling up, price pushed up. This was the retracement candle right here. So the entry actually would have happened right there. And then it would have went straight to TP. It's a bit risky because of volatility, but that's the entry that Maddie was looking at. And as you can see, it played out pretty nicely. We just need to wait for the market to stabilize a little bit. It's starting to stabilize here a little bit, not a crazy amount, but it is stabilizing quite a bit. So maybe say about like in the next 2 minutes or so, we can maybe start looking for entries here. But again, we're not going to rush any of it. We're going to play by ear and see how this ends up moving along. Hey, Tyler, how's it going? Morning. Morning, Slava. Morning to you. All right, so as you guys can see right here, the market's starting to go sideways, starting to stabilize a bit. Had this big push right here. Price is starting to stabilize. As it stabilizes right here, it's going to choose its direction. So as it stabilizes here, price is either going to push up higher or it's going to come back down, right? One or the other. So we'll see. Price continues to push up. That's fine. We're going to wait for a retracement. Once we get that retracement, we can catch the continuation to the upside. Or if price decides to reverse, then we can catch the reversal. It's no big deal there. So let's see. All right, now that the market's open, let's refresh this. Fundamentals are up 97 points. They're not consistently above 100 yet, but we'll say that they're bullish right now. We'll say bullish neutral for the moment. Bullish neutral, we'll say 80 points. Retail sentiment is pretty much neutral, so I'll leave it as is. It's at 54% short now, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything still. 54% short. Short-term technicals. They're not very bullish yet because you can see price has been pushing around a bit. So I'm not going to say that they're bullish yet. So I'm still going to leave it at neutral. Once you have a confirmation that price continues to push up higher, then we'll say it's bullish. But right now, I guess we go put bullish neutral for the moment. But the short-term changes pretty quickly. All right, so as you guys can see, there's not very much of a overall bias for today. Retail sentiment's neutral, fundamental bias is bullish neutral, but that can easily change. Short-term technicals are bullish neutral as well, but that can also change. And long-term technicals are currently bearish. So it's pretty much a mixed bag right now. It's tossed up. Price is just going sideways right here. This is normal. So you can wait for that confirmation. All right, guys, so just a heads up, we're back on normal schedule. So for today, we will be having our mentoring session again at 2 p.m., Monday, 2 p.m. Pacific time. So just a heads up, I know some of you guys were asking about that mentoring session. We are going to have it today. Sorry about last week. Last week was just a little too crazy. It was like the holiday plus just a lot of other stuff. And we just couldn't, set a time that was good for everyone. So we're going to be back on schedule this week, entering session at 2 p.m. Don't miss that. If you guys have any specific questions and you guys want to review anything, don't forget to attend the mentoring session today because we'll be covering a lot of stuff. Again, if you guys are part of the premium and you guys want a deeper explanation for this momentum pullback scalp strategy and for the 1 hour strategy over here, again, these strategies are not finalized yet, but I mean, they're pretty much finalized. Like I explained how I personally apply them. There's different ways of applying them. There's so many different ways of applying them, but the way that I apply them was explained to Anelli during our private one-on-one mentoring session. So if you guys are in the premium, just scroll up in the premium announcements and look at the most recent one-on-one session right here. You guys can watch this, and I gave examples and I was pretty detailed with explaining how the strategy works. This isn't available to the public, so this is only available to you guys. I know it's on YouTube, but it's unlisted, so people can't just find this video. You guys can't just go on YouTube and look up the video. because I'm not looking to share the strategy with the public. I'll share with you guys, but not with the public. And that's another reason why I'm not live here on the YouTube live stream. The YouTube live stream is unlisted right now, so there's a couple people who are on it, like people who basically normally watch the live streams, but it's not public right now. So there's only a couple people on the YouTube live stream right now. I was gonna make it private, but I figured I'd just make it unlisted because we do have some people here in the community who have been following us for a long time, and I don't mind sharing it with them. I just don't want to share it with the general public. So yeah, just a reminder, we're going to have our mentoring session later today. If you guys have questions regarding the strategies, I'll tell you how I apply them. Again, they're not like a normal strategy. So I can't teach these to you guys like the normal strategies, but if you guys are on these live sessions every day, it's pretty simple and it's straightforward. So you guys shouldn't have any problem picking up, what we're doing here. So yeah, no, definitely, Chrissy. Yeah, just come with questions, just make a list of questions, Chrissy, and I'll answer whatever you need help with. I know you're just coming back. Everything's kind of new to you again. So yeah, just make a list of questions, and then later today, I'll answer all of them, one by one, so that you're fully up to speed with everything. Yeah, no problem. I know, Maddie, right? All right, so we got price coming down right here. We need that sell signal to close. Once the sell signal closes, it's going to confirm the retracement, and then we want to catch a buy signal back to the upside. Once we have that, we can continue to follow the direction. So right now we have a bullish direction. Reason for the direction here is because price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, and pivots are angling up. If price starts to swing below, that's completely fine. That's just going to confirm that price may be shifting. Shifting is completely fine. That can happen. But for the most part, we just want to confirm the direction first. So again, if you guys haven't been here for a while, I'm trading this Top Step. It's a different prop firm that's actually been around longer than FTMO. So I'm trading Top Step right here to trade directly on TradingView. It's a futures broker or a futures funding company. And since we're trading YM, it makes sense to trade with a futures broker instead of a Forex broker. So I'll be trading my TradeAvate account on here. I'm going to try to mirror it on my MT4. If not, it's okay. I'm going to just go on here. You guys will hear when my orders get filled. You'll hear like a sound in the background that says like order filled, and then order closed or order filled when I pull out. So just a heads up, guys, if you guys are looking to, or if you guys are wondering like what that noise is and what platform I'm using, I still use my FTMO account. I use it for the 1 hour entries and for liquidity if I can find it, or if it, if it's available when I'm looking for entries here. But yeah, looking over here on the 1 hour time frame, it does not look like we're going to be having a 1 hour entry here in the next 15 minutes. If there's a sell signal that comes up, great. But it's not looking like one I would take. For me personally, when I take the 1 hour entries, I need the sell signal to be up over here on the 1 hour, and also need a sell signal to be up here on the 1 minute to match the trend meter. Since it's not up right now, I don't think I'm going to be taking that 1 hour entry. If you guys were following the premium group yesterday, I actually took a trade in Asia session yesterday. So I'm currently up in profit for the day. This is my account right here. So I took this one right here, this trade last night at about like 8 p.m. I think. Yeah, 8 p.m. Pacific time. Went straight into like retracement and then went straight down into profit immediately right after it, when it hit my TP. I like the strategy because it's pretty much a set and forget. I pretty much took the trade and then I left and I came back like in like 20 minutes or so, and then it hit my profit target right there. So I'm currently up right now. Here's my main account with the green strip locked in 2,120. Here's my second FTMO. I locked in 2,120. You can see there's no green strip here because this is my copier account. It just copies my main account. Here's my MFF number 1 locked in the 1,060. My MFF number 2, 1,060. And my MFF number 3 over here locked in 1,060 as well. So those are pretty much my profits for the day so far. They're not going to count as official profits because I didn't take them during the live. They're just the trades that I took. So I just want to show you guys my account so that you guys can see what I took if you guys do decide to take those after hour trades. So I'm up about 7,400 for the day. So not too bad to kick off the week, but these trades are not going to count as official trades. The only official trades are the ones that we take here on the live session. So you're not going to see these in the results. I just want to show you guys what I took. Here's Kenny over here. Kenny actually took the liquidity push earlier this morning, the one that we saw. So he took the 1 hour liquidity that wasn't necessarily an established one. It was a 30-minute liquidity, and he took a total profit of 2,662 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. So great profits right there from Kenny. What else we have here? Yeah, Maddie over here is marking up the momentums. So nice work, Maddie. And Patricia over here as well. Patricia locked in a couple of trades like right on open, total profit of 2,220 for the day. Nice work, Patricia. Yeah, she got that ceiling, wrote it back down a little bit. All right, so price is still pushing up. We never got that sell signal. I'm still waiting for that sell signal to come up because we need that retracement. We want to get in right now because price is overextended. But it looks like price is pushing up higher, which is completely fine. There's nothing wrong with price pushing up higher. We got this here. So price might actually reach that next level of liquidity. I mean, maybe. I don't know if it'll for sure, but I mean, there's a possibility if price continues to push up and climb up higher and higher from where it's currently at. Here's a clean chart. You can see the high over here pretty much is blasted right through. I'll leave that there because it was actually established. So I'll leave this here as structure for us to follow as price continues to push up higher. So market open right here, price pushed up a lot from market open. So market open down here at this blue line, and it actually pushed up 1,600 pips since open. So not bad. It's pretty decent volatility for a summer market. Typically summer market, 1,500 pips is like the entire push for the whole day. But we'll see, where this ends up going. Price continues to push up. That's completely fine. We just need to wait for that retracement so that we can start looking for possible entries here. All right, it's just a waiting game now. Maria said, I know it's just one trade per momentum that we take, but practicing my eye to cash them. So technically you can take multiple per momentum, Maria, if you want to. Like you have the opportunity to do that. It's just for me, I look for more quality entries over like quantity of entries. So for me, I only take for like one per momentum. But Maria here, she just sent in a screenshot of the markups. She saw actually 3 momentum pullback scalps. Maddie actually caught those too. So Maddie took screenshots of those on his screen too. And this is cool because you guys can see here that there's multiple ways to apply the strategy. If you want to apply it in a riskier way, then you can take multiple entries as price continues to move along. Maria over here identified this. Maria just learned the strategy, right? Maria messaged me, I think, on Friday. I told her exactly how to do it. I gave her some confirmations, and here she is. She's identifying trades perfectly using the momentum pullback scalp. So nice work, Maria. And I do commend you on your persistence, because I know you found this and then you're trying things out, and that's good. That's good because you're really practicing and you're understanding how to identify these entries. So yeah, no, it's solid work. Maddie over here identified them too. So he did pretty solid with identifying these here. He's just marking all of them up as they come up. So I think Maddie identified 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entries. So basically 7 wins right here within this like chopping movement. I typically wouldn't take that many entries. I'd maybe take just one of them, but it goes to show that you can lock in like 7 wins right there if you're like really dialed in and applying the strategy. Again, like I mentioned, for the mastery of this strategy, I'll probably have to do this in person. And maybe at some point we'll like set aside one day out of the week where I can trade this. I'll just be on live all day from like 6:30 till 12 o'clock noon, because this strategy can be used pretty much all day long. I probably won't do it during the summer session because the market's too slow, but in the fall, maybe winter, I'll do it. And I'll show you guys like the possibility of applying this strategy all day. It's very draining though. So like if I was to do that, I'd probably only trade like once for the entire week, because you're going to be on the chart like literally for 12 hours, for like 6 to 7 hours straight, like a normal job. But a ton of profit that can be made. Hey, Kaner, how's it going? Morning. But yeah, I mean, a lot of exciting things to come, guys. I feel like every year we have something that's somewhat new and exciting to you guys. And it's cool because it's beneficial for all of us. All right, so we got price pushing up. We need that retracement. So it's 652 right now. Let me check the calendar because we do have news today, but let me see what time. So we just have news at 7 o'clock. We have Fed member Barr speaking and final wholesale inventories at 7 o'clock. So we're probably going to wait for news to pass first. And then hopefully after that, we can start looking for entries. But right now, there's just nothing for us to take specifically. There's another entry that came up right here. I don't know if you noticed this, Maria. So price pushed up right here. This candle right here pulled back. Entry would have happened down here. And that would have went straight to full TP. So as you guys can see with one momentum, sometimes like the momentum signals don't change very often. And you can just keep taking multiple entries as price continues to push up higher. There's like, so price pulled down right here. Let me just zoom in a little bit. So I'll just show you guys a couple different entries that came up. Price pulled up right here, a retrace right there. Entry would have happened right here, right? Full TP. Again, right here, this candle pushed up and this pulled back. There's actually another entry right there. You have to wait for price to push up again. Price pushed up right here, retraced right there. Another entry right there. Price pushed up right there, retraced right here. Entry would have happened right there. Price pushed up right there, retraced right there. Entry would have happened right there. So you can see there's like about 5 entries that came up right there. Price pushed up again right here, retraced to that point. Entry would have happened right there. So that's like 6 back-to-back wins, no losses. If you were to apply this directly. So, I mean, there's a ton of different ways to apply this strategy. For me personally, I used to trade this way, but it's hard for me to do this on the live because it's going to happen too quickly. Like I'd have to literally be zoned in and not answer any questions, not having chats open, just literally just clicking buy every time price came to that point there. So like I mentioned, like I just showed you guys all these entries right here, right? So I think in the future, I'll probably host a masterclass. It'll have to be in person. Like we'll all be in like the same room, like the same trading room. Everyone will have their own computers there. We'll have a big screen, like a projector or something where I can trade. And then you guys will just follow me while I'm just focused and taking every trade so that you guys can see me do it live and you guys can do it live as well. That's going to happen sometime in the future. Like when we do that, I'm going to have to it's going to be like an invite only because I'm not going to be teaching this to everybody. There's so much money here to be made, right? Like there's so much money here to be made. I don't need to teach this to anybody literally, but I will teach it to a select few of you guys. If I think that you're ready for it and we could all make money doing this here because this is a very lucrative strategy, but you have to actually know how to read price action. Like you can't just be taking every single move. You have to understand when to stop. You have to understand when to cut your losses and stuff like that. So again, right here, for example, price pushed up, retracement right here. I'm not going to take the entry here, but I'm going to show you that there's another entry within this momentum. So price right here pulled back. I'll just mark it up for you guys to see, but I'm not going to take this trade. It's too close to news right here at 7 o'clock. Plus price is overextended. We need that retracement to confirm before we look for any entries here. So if this candle here closes, I'll mark it up for you guys and you guys can see it. But again, so right here, that's where the entry would have been taken. Full TP again right there. See? Price pushed up, retraced back to that level. That's where your entry would have been for the buy. Full TP right there. Should have taken it, but it's okay. It's getting too close to news, and there's just too many entries here that came up already. I'm looking for that retracement, but you can see over here that there's about almost 10, if not more, entries that have came up right here within this little area. So the strategy is crazy. This is why I'm closing the public. The public chat is pretty much, I'm not going to share this with the public anymore. So I don't even know if I'll go live on YouTube anymore. I know some of you guys are here on the YouTube, it's unlisted. Guys, if you guys are on the YouTube right now watching this, and I know there's people on here because it shows how many people are watching. If you guys want to continue to watch these live streams, just sign up to the live streams, right? If you want the indicators and you want to do this on your own, sign up to the indicators. But pretty soon, I'm just going to stop going on the YouTube live streams. You guys can watch the replays, but I'm not going to be live streaming this to the public because I just don't want this strategy to become mainstream. Because I know there's a lot of people who show up on the YouTube and they just try to copy what I'm doing here. It's not going to be that easy because you guys need my indicators. It's necessary because if you don't, it's really hard to determine which direction to be trading in. Because for example, here you have the clean chart, right? You're over here with a clean chart. Yeah, of course you can mark up the tenths, right here, but you don't know what direction you're trading in. You don't know where to catch momentum and stuff like that, because that's the whole point of these indicators. The momentum here with the buy signal, we have the pivots over here, we have the trend meter, we have everything here to pretty much help identify where and where not to enter. So if I see another example here, I'll show you guys one more. But at the moment right now, price is coming close to news over here. It's low impact news, but I'm still going to be careful around that point. So again, right here, if you get a red candle, then you'll just look for another retracement and possible entry to the upside. But I'm not going to take it. So definitely not going to take this here. Oh yeah, for sure. Rashida says she's down for the in-person training. Yeah, it's just easier for me to explain this in person because I can go over to your screen and be like, okay, this is where, I can see where your markups are and I can show you what can be done differently versus us on here on the Zoom. Like you guys can see my screen, but I can't necessarily go up to your screen and point out what you did wrong or what you did right and what could have been done differently. So, all right, if this candle here closes, there's going to be a possible another entry that happens, wherever the price will bounce from. But there's news right here, so I probably would not take this trade here. And we've had about like 12 entries here. So as you guys can see, it's a 10 to 25 risk reward, right? So with that said, you could lose like one trade and you just have two trades back to back and you're pretty much back in a profit, 2.5 trades. So it's very lucrative. All right, the other entry be right here. I'm not going to take a trade, but I just want to mark it up for you guys. News is going to happen in about a minute. All right, so this thing never got filled, which is fine. Price didn't come down and touch the entry point over here. But we do have news right here in about 1 minute. Let me check. It is final wholesale inventories. I don't think there's anything else over here. About it. Then we got the Fed speaking too. All right, so here's a news candle right here. So we got news right here. I mean, we obviously have a bullish direction here. I'm gonna draw up news real quick. Same color that pink. All right, solid. So now that we're past 7 o'clock, I'm just looking for a retracement. So I'm looking for a sell signal to come up to confirm retracement. I mean, price is overextended, as you guys can see. It's way overextended. You can see over here on the liquidity push or liquidity chart, it's pushed up a lot. It's due for retracement now at some point. I don't know if it'll retrace anytime soon, but it is due for retracement. It's probably going to reject off this London high right here. So this is London high. Price might come up and maybe bounce off this point here. I bounce off that point right there and come back down, which is fine. That's what we need. So I think following just this one momentum signal, there's probably about like 12 entries that came up, if not more. And it just continues to climb higher. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said might have a late reaction to news. Yeah, I agree. That's cool. I mean, we're still looking for the retracement anyways. So once we get that retracement, there's another possible entry right here. I'm not going to take it, but I'm just going to mark it up for you guys to see. So we'll see how this candle closes. It's just price is way overextended, so I'm expecting a reversal to happen at some point. It doesn't have to be a strong reversal, but at least to some extent. It's pushed up for way too far right now. So again, the entry would have been right here if it ends up, and we'll see where it ends up pushing to. That's where the entry would have been. It would have filled. I'm not in this position, you guys, just a heads up. You guys would hear my screen, it would say order filled if I'm in the position. So I'm not in this position here. You can see volatility starting to die down a little bit because it's a bit overextended. Price needs to retrace, which it hasn't done yet. And that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for that retracement, and then I'm looking for the continuation back to the upside when we get that opportunity. So not in this position here. You can see how the market has kind of changed a bit. It's not like pushing back and forth as quickly as it was earlier. Before I would hit TP immediately on, the open of the candle, but right now it's pretty much just sitting flat. Nice. Yeah, C6 said he was able to catch a couple, but definitely sitting on his hands now. Yeah. See, wait for that retracement. So I'm going to take this off, guys. I don't want you guys to think that I'm in the position. I just wanted to show you guys the entry there. I'll come back and show you guys, if it ends up pushing through. But I don't want you guys to hop into this position thinking that I'm in it, because I'm not in the position right now. But you guys can see the volatility here has died down quite a bit. It's kind of slowed down. I want that retracement to the downside to confirm, and then we can catch the momentum back to the upside. So if a sell signal comes up, that's where you would close out early. If and when it does come up, which hasn't came up yet, but so it looks like the entry would have hit, or almost. I think it might have hit a bit of a ceiling up there. Yeah, so it looks like the entry right there would have hit. If you guys took it, would have went straight to the TP. But this right here would have been kind of nervous. I would have been nervous taking this trade, because if I saw price coming down like that a little bit and it just slowed down, it'd just be too risky. So now I'm hoping we get that retracement momentum signal, because we need that. Once we get that retracement momentum signal, we can start looking for trades, because I'm only taking one per momentum. I mean, technically we can take more, but this isn't really the market for it. We're in a summer market, so you get these summer conditions where volatility will pick up slightly, and then it'll drop back down, and then it'll pick back up, and then it's just a never-ending process. Yeah, Maddie said probably going to retrace seeing retail hopping on sells. Yeah, let's take a look at retail sentiment. So retail sentiment early was 54% short. Yeah, this thing, it caught on a lot. So a lot of retail traders are now hopping onto these sells here, which is it's just indicating that, I mean, price might just continue pushing up. It might retrace down slightly and then it'll continue pushing up. But yeah, it's getting a bit higher. So it's now 57% short. So we're going to say bullish neutral. Obviously, short term is bullish now. Long term might be switching to bullish too. All right, so short term technicals over here: 1 minute, 5 minute, 10-minute prices above the pivots. Trend meters green, pivots are angling up. This is going to indicate that it's in a current bullish bias. Looking over here at the 30-minute, you can see that price is starting to shift up as well. 30-minute is above the pivots. 1 hour is above the pivots. 4 hours right in between the pivots, but it's pretty mixed. So we're going to say that long term is bearish neutral. All right. So I'm just looking for that retracement, guys. If I get that retracement, perfect. I need that sell signal. So you can see how that sell signal came up. I need that to close. And then once price switches back up, then we can start looking for some buys here. But right now, price is just way overextended. Price pushed up from down here, this lower point. It's pushed up 2,460 pips. That's a big push with no retracement. So we're going to look for either retracement or reversal to the downside. It doesn't matter. Whatever plays out, we'll be looking for entries here. There was no entry here on the 1 hour. Yeah, obviously there's no entry there on the 1 hour chart, so keep looking for this to confirm. Just a waiting game. This is the worst part about trading. Just patience and discipline, waiting for that setup to come up. This is where FOMO comes into play. So don't get FOMO, guys. Just wait for the retracement. It's 7:08. We still have like about an hour till 8. So we got a lot of time. Feels like we've been on this chart for like a long time, but it's only been like 30 minutes. So we'll see where this goes. See if we get that sell signal. So when the sell signal comes up, guys, it can shift. Like if it shifts back to the downside, because the thing is opening prices down here. So here's the thing. There's two different scenarios that can play out. Price will either provide a sell signal, provide a buy signal, and continue up. This is one scenario. If this happens, we'll take buys, right? Of course, price will come down. We'll take buys like that. However, if price comes down, comes down heavy, comes down like this, then we just shift to sells. So that's a cool thing about this strategy, is that we're not like stuck with a bias. We don't trade in the direction of bias. We trade in the direction of direct. We trade in the direction of the direction, right? Of trend and momentum. So if price comes down, we can start looking for sells. It's not a big deal. We just need to confirm the direction. Right now, the direction is obviously bullish. Today's overall bias is pretty much mixed. That's why I'm saying price can kind of go in either direction. There's no one direction for price to go. It'll just keep going back and forth. Let's see, Maddie said momentum pullback at 7:06. Oh yeah, so this one over here hit, Maddie. Down right there. One is some pretty nasty drawdown, but it ended up swinging back up and hitting. So that's good. But yeah, all right, we're just waiting. So how many entries came up, man? There's like, I think, so there's like about 12 right here, 13, 14. Yeah, about 14 entries. So 14 entries off this single momentum. We have this one momentum here, the direction confirmed over here. There's like 12 entries that happen between this area here, one more right there, one more right there, and then another one right here, actually. I mean, I'm not in this position, but this one's still technically running too. If anybody was to take it, I mean, I didn't take it. It's too risky right now. Price is way overextended, guys. So I'm not looking to take any trades right now. I'm looking for a confirmation of retracement. I want to see at least some sort of retracement and then continuation. But yeah, technically there's like one more trade that's still running right here. Not in the position. We'll come back and take a look at it. If we get a sell signal though, that means that you have to cut out of that trade early. So you can cut your losses early instead of eating the entire loss. So I'm going to see this right here. If this here closes with the sell signal, which I hope it does, because we need that sell signal to close. So I want this here to close with the sell signal. So I can show you guys a couple explanations. I'll show you an explanation of how to cut the trade early, and also we can start looking for the next entry. But that sell signal did not close. I prefer for it to actually push up, hit the TP, and then come down and close. At that point, great. Because at that point, you'll have like 15 wins and 0 losses. And then you can like shift to the retracement. But yeah, there's about 15 wins that came up right here. It's a very intuitive strategy. You just have to be looking for, you just have to know what to look for. That's really what it is. But even if there was a loss here, that would be 15 wins and one loss. So you'd still be massively in profit, even if that was the case. So, okay, so if this sell signal here closes, I just want to show you guys an example of how you would close a trade early for a loss. So say, for example, you enter right here, and this sell signal right here closes, right? See, if that sell signal closes like that, you close your losses right here for 15 points, 150 pips. So if you do the math here, so you do the math, you get 15 wins times 100 pips each, right? You'd be up 1,500 pips minus 150 pips. You're still in profit, 1,350 pips. You were able to cut your losses early. Instead of taking the full 25-point loss, you only take a 15-point loss. So you'd be massively in profit, taking all those trades. So that's why I really like the strategy, because you can cut your losses early instead of waiting for that full stop loss. You just cut your losses, and then if price pushes back up, you take that next trade, and then you pretty much just recover what you lost from there. Even though this here might still hit, you'd have a confirmation that you pulled out when you needed to. All right, so this volatility right here is not it. It's pretty slow. I'm hoping it picks up a little bit, because if this starts to go sideways, I'm not going to be taking any trades around that point, because it's just not a safe area to trade in. Yeah, this is the downside about summer markets, because in the winter and the fall, price just continuously moves up and down. It's just going up and down, up and down, up and down. It's easy to take these entries, but in the summer, you'll get price pushing, and then all of a sudden it goes sideways for like a good 30 minutes to an hour, and then it starts to pick up again. So we're looking for a buy signal right here. Need that buy signal, and then we can start looking for some possible buys. All right, no buy signal yet, but it's pending right here. All right, I want sentiment to pick up. Sentiment is picking up right here. This is a good thing, because we're looking for buys here. So if sentiment continues to pick up, I think price will continue to push up higher. So this is beneficial for us in multiple ways. Liquidity is still kind of far from where price is at. I mean, it's not super far, but it's getting there. Let me see if there's anything else here. I'm just waiting for this here to close or to give us anything. Here's Kevin over here. Kevin just posted his profits. He locked in a total profit of 1,985 for the day. So Kevin over here is about 2,300 away from passing his top step. Nice work, Kevin. Solid profits for the day. And I'm doing good. Almost there. See, I like the metrics over here from top step. It's a lot more detailed. All right, so we need price to push up. I'm hoping it pushes up, because this sideways movement is not a good thing. Price goes sideways right here, you got to wait for some sort of direction to play out. Even if we get a buy signal. So this is the thing that I was mentioning. So like, this is what's hard about identifying when and when not to trade, because when price starts to consolidate like this, it's not easy for a lot of people to see. For me, it's easy because I see price going back and forth. There's a higher high right there. There's a lower higher low right here. And price just pretty much goes sideways for the most part. Rashida also mentioned that there's news coming up. Let me check the calendar. Let's see. So I don't see anything on my side. Let me see if there's anything over here. Oh, you're right. Thanks for Sheeta. So there's news right here at 8:30. We got news for actually, I don't see it here. I thought I saw it too, but they might have moved it. So yeah, there's news coming up at 8:30 my time. So maybe that's what Rashidi meant. I thought I saw it right here at 7:30. So they might have pushed it back. Yeah, 8 o'clock is going to be heavier news around 8 o'clock here. So yeah, but nothing on my side coming up at 7:30, which is good because we need to be able to take that one entry first. Yeah, I think I saw it too, Rashida. I think it was at 7:30 and it pushed back. So I just refreshed the news calendar and then it wasn't at 7:30 anymore. It's all good. Thanks for the heads up though. It's good to know. All right, let's see. Fundamentals are currently up 200 points. So now fundamentals are currently bullish. All right, so it looks like we might have a bullish bias for the remainder of the week. We don't have it yet, but remainder of the week. All right, so price comes down like this is completely fine. We actually want price to come down a little bit. And then when it swings back up, that's where we're going to be looking for entries. I just want price to be out of this range. The price is consolidating within this area right here. You can't see it too well on that chart because there's so many things on the chart. But if you look over here, it's a lot more noticeable and clear, right? So you can see over here, price was not doing anything for like the past 15, 20 minutes. It's just a sideways movement right here. So this is where you do not want to be trading in within this area right here. I wouldn't mind if price comes down a little bit. So I'm okay with price going down and then coming right back up. That's actually what I prefer. I prefer this right here. I'd rather have price come down a little bit and then have that buy signal push price right back up, retrace, provide us entry for the momentum scalp pullback. See breaking news from CNBC. Got it. All right, so we'll see. I mean, you guys can see here, it's pretty clear. There's not much movement going on. We need price to actually push in a direction. Right now, there's just nothing. Let's see. Kevin said his best day was at 2,679. So they'll put him under the 30% consistency rule once he gets the perfect. Yeah, so Kevin over here said that one of his days he made 2,679. So he just needs about 2,300 to balance it out. There's a consistency rule with Top Step, guys. So like in order for you to find the consistency within it, you need to have like consistent days. You can't have like one day where you make like 10,000 bucks and then one day you make like 1,000 because it's going to show that you just got lucky on that one day. So they do require that you are consistent with your trades, which I think is a good thing. I think a lot of people are going to complain and be mad about that, but realistically, they want to make sure that you're actually good at trading and you're not just getting lucky. Because it's easy for someone to get lucky, right? You can open a demo account and you can take a buy entry on open and you could have caught this whole move right here. You probably wouldn't know what you were doing, but you probably could have caught that move, right? The thing with Top Step is they don't want people like that. They want people who are consistent and can repeat the process, because if they're taking your trades or you guys are so what happens with Top Step is that they actually give you a real account at some point. So with FTMO, they don't tell you whether they're giving you a real account or not. You're still on demo. But on Top Step, once you confirm that you're consistent, like say you had like 30 profitable days, right? Out of like say a month or two. Then they give you an actual live account. So you like legitimately trade for the firm. That's kind of like what I was aiming for with my prop firm, but I don't know. We'll see if my prop firm still goes through. It's a lot of work to start a prop firm. I need to find out. So if I was to do something like that, it would be through a futures broker like this, because I want to trade directly on TradingView. Once we started trading here on TradingView, you guys can see that it opens up so many opportunities for to catch mistakes. It's so much easier to trade directly on here versus on MC4. We'll see. All right, so there's not much movement right here. I'm hoping market picks up a little bit. It's still, I mean, it's getting close to 8. It's 7:22 right now, but we still have some time here. The only problem is that there's no movement here. The volume has pretty much died down. All the volume passed through here earlier this morning, and now it's pretty much flat, which is super annoying because I was hoping that we'd have at least one entry here. If anything, I'll stay on a little after 8, but I mean, I don't like doing that because typically it causes issues around that time. Let's see, there's an error right here. It says we are performing planned maintenance on drawing storage. Apologize for any inconvenience. Okay, just a heads up. Looks like TradingView is having sometimes the drawings are just loading, having issues because they're updating their system. I think we're good though. I don't see any issues here with our drawings. All right, so we got nothing going on here. Here's a clean chart. Price is still going sideways. I actually want price to come down, so this is a good thing. I actually want this. I want price to come down. I want it to fake out and then come back into this area. Like that. So I actually want price to come down and fake out. The reason why I'm expecting a fake out right here is because a lot of people are starting to chase the sell side. You can see over here, a lot of retail traders are chasing the sell side, right? This was like 52% short on market open. Now that price is overextended to the upside, a lot of people are chasing the sells because they think, okay, they caught the top. I don't think they caught the top. I think they're going to stop everybody out. So I want those people to get faked out and I want them to get stopped out. And then we can start looking for some more buys here. That's kind of the beauty in this. It's like a lot of people, it's crazy. You just need to look at the psychology of this, right? You look at other people who are selling because you already know what's happening. You guys can see what's going on here, right? The numbers here are increasing for sells because people think that they established a top over here. They're like, oh, this is a top. So price has to come down, right? Little that they know is that they're probably getting faked out right here. Price will come down a little bit, make them think that they made the right decision. And then when they least expect it, price will get down here and it'll just spike all the way up to stop everybody out, right? And that's beneficial for us because if that happens, then there's going to be a lot of liquidity sitting up here. So that's a big plus for us because we'll have liquidity up here. If everybody takes sells here, their stop losses are going to be sitting around this area and it's going to be pretty much free feeding for us here. We just pretty much take our trades, take our buys, get in and out, and then just let the market do what it needs to do. Because it's probably not going to be smooth from now until the end of the day. But I'm expecting these people here to get stopped out. Like the first people, this is usually what happens. Like, you know, the first people who hop in, they get stopped out and then price will continue to drop down. And then I'll just keep messing with them for like the rest of the day until they pretty much give up. So the deeper the drop, the better. I actually want this to drop even further. The further it can go down, the more beneficial it'll be for us because that'll just give us more room for us to keep catching buys to the upside. But yeah, the volatility here is kind of low. I'm just waiting for some sort of bounce here. Confirmation. Maddie identified a V1 body over here. So I mean, technically a V1 variation. Like I wouldn't take it though, but I just want to show you guys, you know, possible V1 variation. I'm going to sit on this because I'm waiting for, like, I want it to get to the lowest point as possible. Exactly. Maddie said he's sitting on it though. He's going to wait. He wants it to drop a bit more, which I agree with Maddie 100%. Because I want this to actually drop so that this number here continues to increase. I think once this gets to like 60, 61, 62, great. Because if that's the case, then the push to the upside is going to be even stronger. And it's going to be more lucrative for us to just continue catching those buys to the upside. All right, so price is coming down right here slightly. Nothing too crazy. But I am looking for that. So I'm gonna take the zone off right here. That zone there is no longer, I guess I could leave it there for now. So I'll leave the zone up right here. It's not necessarily anything important. It's just it's a marker to see when this ends up coming back to this level. But the low here never was established. There was a low that was there earlier, price pushed down lower, so it just was never established. Still got 30 minutes here, guys. Got you guys for 30 more minutes. Let's see what we can get here. This is the worst part about trading. I hate waiting for stuff, but this is also the most important part. Waiting for entries and just being patient is the most important part, but it's like the most boring part, especially during the summer, because during the summer, you don't really get much movement. Like right here, this movement barely started pushing down. So price pretty much went sideways for about, let's see, for about 30 minutes. So we were just waiting patiently for like 30 minutes for something to happen. Price is finally doing something. That's completely fine. Let's see. I'm just waiting for it to get as deep as possible. Like the deeper, the better. So when it does correct back up, we'll be ready for that. And I think adjusting these 10th marks, you guys can see where it starts to weaken a little bit. Price got to that level, starting to weaken. Yeah, big wick right there. So let's see if this correction is ready to the upside. Nope. Not yet. Yeah, CJ said, yeah, I can get super boring. It took 11 minutes for that high level momentum to hit. Oh, this one right here. Yeah, this thing took forever, right? See, so like some people still apply the other strategies, guys. You can apply like any strategies you like. It's just they just don't come up as often. Like for example, here CG identified this high level momentum scalp. There's a higher high right here. Price broke and closed past pivots 1 and 2 with the sell signal. So if you took that high low momentum scalp, or yeah, high low momentum right there, it took a while, but it did hit TP right there. It took a long time. That's like way longer than it should be. All right, so we're just waiting for this buy signal. I think this buy signal is going to come up soon. Looks like it established the bottom right here. And it might be ready to shift back up. You can see the trend meter down here shifted back to green. It went from green to blue back to green. So we'll see. I mean, there's no rush. It's really just waiting for the opportunity to present itself. But we could already anticipate what's going to happen here. Let's check the sentiment again. All right, sentiment's still at 59. I don't think there's enough people on the sell side yet for the market makers to push price up. I think they want to keep dropping price a little more because they want this to increase. Like I think once this gets to like 60, 61, 62%, then the market makers are like, all right, we got enough people locked in on the sell side. Now let's push price up, stop everybody out, make some money on them. Because that's where the liquidity is sitting. If they get like flipped out, then they get all that extra liquidity. Because the thing is, the market makers, if there's a lot of liquidity sitting up here already, they don't have to create liquidity, right? Because they just push price up, it stops everybody out, and the liquidity is automatic. It just goes on a stop loss hunt. If they need to push liquidity up, that's more risk on their end because they got to put orders for buys here, and it's probably not going to push price very high. I'll probably push it like maybe even 10, 20 pips or so. And then unless there's liquidity sitting there, it's not really going to make an effect, right? So you just have to see these things from a logical perspective. Because and that's really what it is. It's just using logic. It's like playing chess, right? I always use that analogy. I don't even know how to play chess, but I like to use that analogy because you're kind of just thinking 2 steps ahead of the game. So yeah, I'm gonna keep moving these lines down so that you guys can see, because you can see how it's starting to lose power. Price is pushing down, and then the wicks are starting to get bigger and bigger as price tries to push back to the upside. But again, it's just a matter of patience and just waiting for these opportunities to come up. Because, I mean, realistically, you can take a gamble and maybe get lucky. But for the most part, it's probably not the best decision. All right, so the fundamentals change a little bit. It's still bullish, but it's a little less. I think the main thing to look out for would be the retail sentiment, because this is going to change. It's going to be bouncing back and forth. This number here is really the most important part, because the more people that are on the sell side, the closer we're getting to that push to the upside. Let's see. Looks like this might be it. This might be a V2 variation right here if it's a strong green candle. See if we get that buy signal. Liquidity is pretty much useless. I'm not going to keep going back and forth between liquidity over here, guys, because there's no levels of liquidity near it. So liquidity is not going to be useful to us. The 1 hour chart over here is not going to be useful to us either, because, or I mean, technically, I guess it could be useful for the 1 hour, but there's no 1 hour momentum. So really the main chart that we can use here is just going to be the main one here for the momentum pullback. And I guess we can use this clean chart here also for some confirmation. All right, price is still tumbling down. It's completely fine. So here's the thing. Once we get the buy signal, guys, there's still no opportunity for entry until we confirm the direction. So even if we get a buy signal, we need to confirm the direction before we can start looking for trades that way. There just isn't any. So we need price to be above the pivots, because if price goes above the pivots, trend meter is likely to turn green. So I kind of want to see a bit of a strong push. It doesn't have to be a strong push, but a decent push to the upside before we get that retracement. Yeah, exactly. So Maria said consolidation there is nice. Yeah, I wouldn't mind there being consolidation right here. And then a nice correction back to the upside. Yeah, I agree with you, Maria, 100%. That'd be a perfect area for consolidation. All right, so the volume here is dying down again. Not too much going yet. All right, Maddie over here. So Maddie's currently up 315 on his first account. Nice work, Maddie. And here is Maddie's second account over here. Total profit of 580 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. Solid profits for the day so far. Dollars are killing me. All right, price is still dropping right here. I mean, this is fine. If price wants to drop for a bit, we can shift our direction. The thing is, there's no direction to the sell side yet. We have momentum. The pivots are starting to follow, but this can easily shift back up. So at the moment, there's still no confirmation there. So this is the beauty of like waiting for confirmation, right? Because even though it gets kind of boring, you'll see these big spikes, but I'm just glad that I'm not in any position here, because that's like the worst feeling. If you're in a position and a big spike happens and it goes against you, stops you out, and then it goes right back up. Because right here, it seems like the market makers are trying to play with the retail traders, because the thing is, this number here hasn't shifted. The number here has been 59% since price was like way up here, right? So if price is still dropping and you have these big spikes right here, these are the market makers kind of pushing price around. They're kind of playing with the retail traders right now. They're spiking it down so that people will chase the drop. It doesn't look like anyone bid onto that. The number here actually decreased. So people actually got scared and they pulled out. It's like a mental game, guys. It's really mental, just identifying what's going on in the market. Like right here, since we're not in a position, it's easy for us to analyze from a distance. Because if you're in a position here and you're in a buy or a sell, of course you want the market to go in your direction, right? But when you're not in the position, you can kind of analyze it from a distance and see, okay, why did this happen here, right? This doesn't make sense. Why would a big push happen there? And the numbers here didn't really change. The number here changed a little bit. So now it's 58%. So people who basically sold off from their sell side and they got back onto the buy side. That's where this big push right here corrected back up. But other than that, I think the Fed might be speaking right now. Surprisingly, it's not moving very much. Fed bar is speaking over here at 7 o'clock, but I don't really see too much movement from when he spoke. He's still speaking right now. And we have Fed daily speak at 8 o'clock. All right, let's see if this finally swings back up. So we need a buy signal. We also need confirmation of direction bias here. All right, perfect. So we do have the buy signal here, but we don't have confirmation of direction yet. So it's kind of tough for us to take any entries here. Okay, so we do have the buy signal right there. Price is retracing right here, but I will not take the entry until it confirms the direction of the direction right now. Because the trend here down below is blue. Price is below the pivots. There's no direction right here. So I'm not looking to take any buys here yet. Even though this here is a setup, it's not a setup in our direction because we need price to be somewhere above this area. So if I need to wait for a later entry, I can wait for a later entry. I don't have to just enter right now. I need to wait for something here to confirm. All right, so this is good. I need price to push it below further, at least push it above the pivots to confirm that price is going to correct back up. See the number over here. Retail sentiment 58% short. Didn't really change much, but let's see. All right, so I want a couple consecutive brief candles first before I look for some entries here. I'll be waiting for it, but be a little patient here. That's still not enough. Yeah, it's not enough for me to take entry here, guys. So I'm hoping what happens here, if this closes, I'm hoping it doesn't pull back this far and it just keeps going back up. So retracement here, and I'm hoping it just keeps pushing back up. Because even if there's a retracement here, the entry would have to happen down here at this level. And if it doesn't, it just doesn't, there's no entry yet at that point, which is what we want. We don't want any entry to come up here because it's going to invalidate our initial entry. Because we try to catch one per momentum, right? All right, so we got the candle there closing. I'm hoping it just pushes straight up from here. If it doesn't, then that's fine. We're not going to take the entry. So best case scenario here is price pushes straight up. It doesn't touch the line because it doesn't have an initial setup. If this is the case, then it's fine because if price pushes back up, we'll just look for another confirmation. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said boring. There's nothing going on here. Yeah, Patricia said she's not liking it either. Same here, guys. The volatility is just way too low. Volatility is way too low right here. So, I mean, there's a couple different scenarios here that can play out. Price can just push up. I mean, it doesn't matter. So even if price touches it or anything, we just need price to push up higher. So I need price to be like somewhere up here, retrace, and then continue, right? Then I'll make my entry at some point up here. All right, so price came down to this area. This would have been the entry, but we can't take the entry here because there's no confirmation of direction yet. So what I'll do today is I'll hang out with you guys a little longer into 8 o'clock because what I've noticed in the past is if the market's super dead up until 8 o'clock, then like right after 8 o'clock, the market starts to pick up a little bit. So I'm not in this position here. I just wanted to show you guys a markup, but I wouldn't have taken it because there's no direction for a buy. So again, we're just waiting. Or in other words, if price starts to, if it continues dropping lower, then we can actually start looking for sells here. We just need a confirmation of a shift in trend. So if the trend meter turns red, then we could actually start looking for sells here. Exactly, yeah. We need a sell signal and we need a red trend meter. So I mean, if anything, our bias might be shifting back to a sell here, which is completely fine because we don't even have a bias for today anyways. The bias here has been pretty much mixed all day. So I don't really care what direction price goes. The price is already below the pivots. We have some sort of direction here. We just need a sell signal. And I'm fine with taking quick entries here because the sentiment here is not very strong anyways. It was stronger earlier. And what might happen here is price might continue dropping until this gets higher to like maybe 60, 65%. Right now it's only at 58, still kind of neutral at the moment. So if we get a sell signal here, you know what, Maddie, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I would actually want to sell because if you look over here from the daily entry, it's a sell still, right? So technically a sell is actually a lot better versus a buy. That buy there was just temporary. It's a temporary push to the upside, but the trend meter down below on the 1 hour has been pretty much sell. Like the entry I took last night, it was a sell. So that buy, this push to the upside might have just been a retracement. And we actually might want to be looking for a sell here. So nothing here. The PC is asking, seems that the 7 a.m. hourly hit. There was no 7 a.m. entry PC. So looking over here, 7 a.m. was right here. There was no sell signal. It was a buy signal right there. So there is no 7 a.m. entry for the 1 hour. Yeah, C2 said he's looking at the 1 hour, prepping for a sell momentum. Yeah, I can see that too. Man, it's a boring Monday. I was hoping Monday would be a little crazier. I mean, so given that we missed like 15 of the entries here, we could have taken these entries here if we really wanted to, but I didn't take them. Maddie took some of them. I think a lot of you guys here actually took some of them. This is a scammer. I'm gonna delete the scammer. I try to delete the scammers whenever I get the opportunity, guys. So like, guys, if you guys ever see random messages or someone messages you, they're probably a scammer. So just keep that in mind. If someone is messaging you like out of the blue, it's probably a scammer. And I already know if they're a scammer or not. They have the same picture. So typically if I see the scammer, I'll ban them myself. If not, you'll probably see C-Stuk in the chat banning people too. All right, so there's still no entries here, guys. And the volatility here is pretty much sideways. Looks like price came back down and retested that low. There's not really too much going on here. Johnny's asking, is your trend meter input on all time frames still set to the no, so it's never set to the 1 hour, Johnny. It's all set to the same as chart. The 1 hour is only set for the hourly entry. So for the 1 hour entry, it's set to 1 hour because this is the 1 hour entry, but everything else is the same. It's set to the same as chart. Just chart for everything. So the only one that's set to 1 hour is going to be the 1 hour entry over here. This one is set to 1 hour though. So you can see over here, everything is set to 1 hour. Yeah, no problem, Johnny. Hey, Sayam, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. All right, so we still got no direction here. Okay, so I think I'll hang out with you guys a little bit longer into 8 o'clock. I typically don't like to do that, but today I'll make an exception because the market is like really not moving right now. It hasn't moved like for a while. So I'll make an exception for today. I typically don't like to do this because the market starts to move kind of funky around 8. So we'll just hang around. We'll just go a little farther into the live session. We'll see if anything picks up. If not, then we will I mean we'll see. It's Monday though, so like this is typical for Monday. It's just a little more, it's a little slower because usually on Mondays it moves a little crazy and then it slows down and then moves a little crazy. But today it's like it moved nice actually on open. Well, it moved crazy, then moved nice, and then now it's dead. It has like big chunks of like dead time. It was like, I think market was dead here for like 30 minutes, came down, now it's dead for like 15 minutes. The candles right now aren't even moving. Super flat. Frustrating. All right, we need something to happen here. Let's see. So the thing is, other Fed members going to speak at 8 o'clock. Let's see. Fed member Daly is going to speak, which is medium impact, and Fed member Mester. There's two Fed members speaking at 8 o'clock. So I mean, we'll see. I'll probably hang out for a little bit, see how market moves when they start speaking. But then again, you might want to be careful around that time because Daily and Mester are going to be speaking at the same time. It's both medium impact. So, and we also have consumer inflation expectations at 8 o'clock as well. So I think that will probably push price in a certain direction. So the entry over here actually hit. I don't know if anybody saw that. The entry over here actually hit that came up earlier. All right, we got the red trend meter now and the red sell signal that's pending. So if this is the case, then we might have an opportunity for entry if it continues to, drop from there. Yeah, Maddie said this market makes me want to sleep. Yeah, no, same here. Same here. I got nothing here to take. I mean, the market here is pretty much flat for the most part. You can see over here, the 1 minute, it's pretty clear market hasn't been doing anything for the past 20 minutes or so. Everything else is pretty much just low. I mean, imagine if you're trading on the 5 minute. So like for us, at least we're trading on the 1 minute and we see some candle movement. So the 1 minute we see something happening, right? Like little things happening. If you're trading on like, say, the 5 minute here, like you'd be super bored because this here is not like, it's not moving at all. It hasn't moved in like the last 20 minutes or so. So we'll see. But there's just not, I mean, I like that the trend meter is turning red though. That's a positive because at least there's some sort of change happening in the market, even though price isn't moving too much. All right. I mean, it doesn't matter. If price starts to shift to the upside, we could look for buys, but if price shifts to the downside, we can look for sells. We just need some sort of shift, like at least some kind of movement here, which we just don't have yet. So I think we might have to wait till 8. I guess we're gonna sit tight then. There goes that sell signal. We still need direction though, guys. So just keep that in mind. Just because we have a sell signal doesn't mean that we can start looking for entries just yet. Like price still needs to push in a direction. Pending sell signal. I was hoping something would happen in the next 2 minutes, but nothing here. All right, so guys, if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, if it's a more detailed question, just save it for the mentoring session later today. It's getting close to 8, but I'm going to hang on with you guys for a little longer. I just want to see if there's anything here that I can possibly hop into. Volatility has been pretty much dead for the past 20-30 minutes now. It hasn't really moved. But what I've noticed in the past couple of weeks, past couple of months, is that if the market's pretty dead around closer to 8, after 8 o'clock hits, volatility starts to pick up. So that's why I'm kind of sitting tight for a little bit here. If the volatility picks up right here, we might have possible entry for a sell even right before 8. Oh my God, come on, give me that sell signal. We need that sell signal right there. If we get that, then possible entry here. I'll be looking for it. Right. I mean, I'd like price to push down at least a little bit. So maybe 2 more candles. Let's give me one more red and then give me a green one on the next. So I need price to just keep dropping a little more. So it's too close. If it closes green right here, it's going to be a little too close. I'm going to try to. I'm hoping it. It's going to be too close to here. We got 15 seconds. I just want a little bit of a gap. So I want price to come up, trigger my order, and then come right back down. All right. So if this candle here closes green, then I'll be looking for a possible entry at this price point right there. It's got to close green though, because he needs to confirm the retracement. The problem is that the numbers are so tight that it's hard to get that retracement confirmation. I'm looking over here. So if you guys see this right here, I'm looking at this color over here to see if this color turns green, because that's how I'm going to understand if it's a retracement or not. If it closes red, then obviously there's no retracement. Price continues to drop lower. But if this here closes green, then it's going to confirm. Even if it's a small candle, I'll be able to confirm if it closes green or not. I got my pending order there. Let's see what happens here. Guys, dogs. That's dead roll, so it sucks. Now I'm just waiting for it to fill. that Kodi? Just waiting to see if this fills. If it drops lower, then we're gonna have to wait for it to establish another retracement, but if it doesn't, we can just wait. I'm gonna leave it for a little bit. If this next candle here drops lower, then I'm gonna delete it and I'm gonna wait for a retracement, another retracement. So I just gotta wait to see how this candle here closes, because if anything, we might get better entry down here. That's the reason why I'd be waiting for it. We also have news coming up right here in a few minutes. So if anything, I might just cancel it, guys. To be honest, I don't want to be caught in this like spike up and then complete reversal on us. All right, guys, it's too close. I'm canceling it. Thanks, Patricia. Yeah, it's too close to news, guys. It's inflation news coming up at 8 o'clock, so you want to be careful, like, because this, what will happen is if the news spikes price, it'll just spike it straight up, and then it'll come right back down. Yeah, probably better to sit out on that one. We do have the hourly setting up here, though. There's no sell signal on the 1 hour, but it is setting up. Yeah, so unfortunately, no entry there, guys. I'll keep looking for another entry here. So I'll hang on with you guys for a little longer, for the next, couple of minutes or so. If we don't get anything, if market doesn't pick up, then we're just gonna wrap it up. Yeah, we do have a news candle right here coming up at 8 o'clock. So let's mark it up here. I'll see if we'll just follow it. But if anything, we'll be looking for the next opportunity anyways. It's not really a big deal. So technically it would have filled right there, and we'll see where it goes. So the 1 hour here doesn't have a 1 hour candle though, Maddie, so I don't think I would take it. It didn't set up the way that we would have wanted it to. So we're not in this position here, guys. I'm super glad we didn't get into it, because you can see where price is now. If anything, you'd be able to pull out early. Well, if we were in the position, you cut out early. That's why you want to avoid these news candles, because these news candles are pretty messy. Yeah, you're smart, Patricia. Thanks for the heads up. Patricia actually told it. So if you guys were in the chat, Patricia actually told me to cancel, and I saw her message. I was thinking about canceling already, but Patricia kind of gave me that push to cancel it. Not to say that it's not going to hit. It might hit, like, for example, it might just come right back down and hit, but better to be safe than sorry. All right, Kevin, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow will be a lot more eventful for you for your first day. Yeah, I'm definitely not taking the 1 hour, Patricia. All right, so let's hang on for like maybe another 10 minutes or so. If the market doesn't pick up in the next 10 minutes, then the market is just going to be dead. Because typically around this time, 8 o'clock, it starts to pick up a lot more. If you guys have noticed, sometimes I'll be hanging around, and I'll still take an entry at like 8:05 because the market picks up a little bit. But right now, the market is just not. I mean, you guys can see it's pretty obvious. So basically, from this side right here, price has been consolidating. So for the past 35 minutes or so, price has not really done much sideways movement, which is not a huge deal. I mean, this is normal for see that the entry still would have hit. That's all good. So what I'm going to look for here is I'm going to look for another opportunity for entry. So the entry still would have hit, but again, it was too risky. I wouldn't want to take that risk. Maddie caught the hourly and Gian caught the hourly. Nice work, guys. Yeah, no, it's solid. It's cool. So there may be another possible opportunity right here. That price point, 70, same price point. Or actually not. If price continues to drop lower, then It might be down here. All right, so as you guys can see, the market's starting to pick up a little bit, right? This is what I was just talking about. I mentioned like around 8 o'clock, market starts to pick up a little bit. If it doesn't pick up, then it's not going to pick up. But if it picks up, then we'll look for something here if we do get an opportunity. So price is dropping a little more, which is fine. We're going to look for that retracement. Once we have that retracement, we can look for entry. All right, so it's still dropping lower. See where this ends up closing. Again, I'm looking over here on the side to see if it closes green, because that green closure is going to provide the opportunity or a confirmation of retracement. There we go. Starting to pick up a bit. Check the sentiment. Sentiment's about the same. Nice. Cameron said caught it. He's out of here. All right, Cameron, we'll see you back here tomorrow. All right, yeah, if you guys made your profit already, solid. I'm looking for the other retracement over here at 40. About 30 seconds left on this here. Might go higher to 50, actually. All right, the retracement here is pretty heavy. So might not even want to take anything here, to be honest. All right, so I'm gonna try to catch right there at the 50 mark. Never mind. All right, so I think I'm gonna cancel this, guys. This thing is dumped right back down. The volatility is a little too crazy right now. I'm canceling my order. Yeah, the volatility is just it's moving way too volatile right now. Here, we'll follow it. Let's see if it hits. It comes back down. So it technically would have filled right there. But yeah, the market volatility right now is it's just way too wild at the moment. This can be, because the thing is the Fed's speaking right now. 2 Fed members are speaking. So like this can be an easy reversal here. I don't know what they're discussing, obviously, but the Fed members are speaking. Fed member Barr and Fed member Messer, I think. Yeah, or Daily. Fed member Daily and Fed member Messer are speaking right now. So a lot of this movement here is, I mean, it could be a synthetic movement, like not necessarily smooth movements through. So we'll see where this ends up going. So we got some profits over here from Casey. Casey's currently up 832 for the day. Nice work, Casey. Take a couple trades throughout the day. Let's see, we got Patricia over here. Patricia locked in a total profit of 3,100 for the day. Nice work, Patricia. Solid work right there. We got Andreas over here, took the trade as well. Total profit of 615 for the day. Nice work, Andreas. Solid profit right there. And we got Cameron over here, total profit of 1,533 for the day. Nice work, Cameron. All wins. Solid profits right there. And we got Maddie over here. So Maddie locked in 570 on his first account. Solid profits right there. locked in 1,950 on his second account, all wins there as well. And passed his challenge. So now Maddie is 100K funded on, is that FTMO, Maddie? I'm assuming it's FTMO, right? All right, sorry guys, I had to get into that trade. I was not leaving here with nothing. So I got the trade right here. I got a partial profit. I'm not going to count it as a trade because I didn't tell you guys I was going to take it. So I took the trade there. I was not leaving here with nothing. I was waiting here for like a good hour and a half for this entry, and I got it for a late entry. Price pulled up, came back down. When it hit that point right there, I just entered the trade. I was not going to risk it. I hit TP here, but didn't close out on my MT4, which is normal. I was expecting that, but I did lock in some profit on that. So I'll give you guys a little screenshot of this trade here. This is the trade that we were looking for, but I decided not to take it on my top step because the market was starting to move a little crazy right here. So I'll just take a screenshot here, show you guys what I took so that you guys know where the trade came from. So, I mean, it's all good, guys. We'll have a better market tomorrow. It's just today's market was trash, to be honest. It wasn't good. A lot of back and forth movement, not much direction. But if you guys took any of the trades that came up, I mean, all of them hit. There was no losses today. Gian said I'm out. Heavy chest day today. Nice work, Gian. Gian locked in a total profit of 970 for the day. Nice work, Gian. Solid. Yeah, so I locked in right there. That same trade. Looks like a lot of you guys took that trade actually. So looking down over here, Casey over here too. Currently have 832 on this account. So nice work right here on his other account as well. Let me just I'm going to take a screenshot of my profits, guys, and then we'll move on. And then I'll see you guys back here later for the mentoring session. But Matthew over here, Matthew's first day back here on the premium, total profit of 271 for the day. Nice work, Matthew. So great work right there. We got Johnny over here. He started his top step account, current profit of 692. Nice work, Johnny, on your way up. So you just need a couple more days, couple more trades, and you'll be solid with getting funded on there. And how do you like it, Johnny? I think everybody would like trading on TradingView. It's so much easier. You just set your pending orders and it just fills the order right away. So definitely, I'm going to take a screenshot of my profits for the day, and then I'm going to wrap it up. So if there's any questions you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, just a reminder, guys, we're back on our normal schedule. So I'll be back for the mentoring session later today at 2 p.m. And I'll be answering pretty much all the detailed questions there. But let me just finish taking screenshots of my profits, and then I can just wrap this up and I'll see you guys later today. Yeah, I wasn't going to risk it. I pulled out of that trade. It hit TP though. It's just, you know, MT4 slippage is trash sometimes. And I was going to be a victim of that. Not today. Definitely not today. All right. It's cool. I made some pretty decent profit on that. And my MFF, right? All my MFFs are the same, so I'm just going to screenshot one. Right. So no trades on my top step today, but my FTMO is still 8, so, and my MFFs. So, all right, here are my profits for the day so far, guys. So here's my FTMO number 1. You can see with the green strip, total profit of 3,560 for the day. Here is my FTMO number 2 account, total profit of 3,460 for the day, all wins as well. Here's my MFF number 1 account, total profit of 1,480. My MFF number 2 count, total profit of 1,480. And my MFF number 3 count, total profit of 1,480 as well. So just adding up all my profits for the day so far, 3,560, 3,460, 1,480, 1,480, 1,480. Total profit of 11,460 for the day. So not bad. Pretty solid, I think, you know, in my opinion. We waited all day. I needed to catch something for today. That was some of my FOMO kicking in. As you guys can see, it doesn't matter how long you've been trading for, you're still going to get FOMO. Like I still get FOMO regardless. But the thing is, I'm just better at controlling it, and I understand when to get out of the market. So FOMO happens so often, guys. It just depends on how you're able to react to the FOMO. If you're going to get greedy, or if you're going to pull out with profit and just wrap it up. So other than that, I think that's about it. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can email me, Sean@KodiTaiTrades.com. Otherwise, I will be back here later today for the mentoring session at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So, all right, guys, other than that, I will see you guys back here in about 6 hours or so. Otherwise, if not, I'll see you guys here